Okay, so I am just gonna go ahead and start, although I think I'm missing 3 people. So I'm just gonna share my screen. Okay. Everybody can see my screen. Okay. Everybody can see my screen. Okay, now just make sure that I'm still waiting for 3 people. If you wanna run to the toilet and come back, you can. Water bottle, stationery. Okay, no calculator, but you can have it by your side in case you want to check your answers. Okay, now otherwise I'm gonna start in like 10 seconds. Hi Chen, how are you?
Hi.
Sorry. How was the week been for everybody? Who just completed term test? Hannah? Brian? Okay. So we hope to hear good news, okay? Next week, hopefully. All right, let me know. All right, let's see. Okay, so some of you managed to do it, some of you didn't. I still have people who cannot do, like Julian, Lucas, Marine. Marine's not here yet. Okay, so next time you must have you have to try. Okay, you have to make sure you try these questions. Okay. Okay, so very quickly, Wani, where's Wani? Where are you? I thought I saw her just now. She dropped out. Oh, she is here. You're still connecting, Wani? Wenyi. Still connected. Okay, never mind. Because you got number 1 wrong, I thought I'm gonna go through with you first. So I'm just gonna skip some of the questions since some of you got it right, and I'm just gonna go through the questions where most of you got it incorrect. Okay, now one of them is, okay, now remember, this is paper 1, booklet A and booklet B. Take note that in paper 1, what do you have? In paper 1, you have booklet A and booklet B. Booklet A, you have 15 questions. Booklet B is 15 questions. You have to complete this in 1 hour. So then because you have to complete this in 1 hour, and remember, because you also have the OAS to complete, always set aside 10 minutes to check on your name, your number, and everything in, as well as the OS has been shaded. 10 minutes, that leaves you with 50 minutes technically to complete the paper of 30 questions. Where you can use shortcuts, you do that. Okay, now how do you and because there is no calculator, so it just makes it a little bit harder. Okay, so now, so some of the things that you can take note of is, like when you see this 125, who can tell me this? It's a multiple of what? The smallest possible number. Yes, Hannah, thank you. So it is actually a multiple of 8. So if I take 125 times 8, this will give me 1,000. So amongst other numbers that you can actually, take note of is 25 times 4 will give you 100. 20 times 5 will give you 100. So these are the common ones. Okay, now why do we make it into 100 or 1,000? So that it's easier for us to convert to decimal. When you have 1,000, you know that after the decimal point you have 3 decimal places. If it's 100, after the decimal point it's 2 decimal places. So in this case, I have 5 over 125. I make it into 1,000. You can make it into 5 if you can divide by 5 to make it into a 25, also can. But this one, I just multiply this one time times 8 to give me 3 and 40 over 1,000. So we know that the decimal point after the decimal point is 3 because it's 1,000, but there's a 0 here. Okay, That means I can knock off this last number and I have a 4 at the back. Okay, so the answer would be B. So that's how you take your shortcuts without your calculator. Okay, just some of the things that you can take note of. All right, now, okay, now number 2. Now for number 2, this is a percentage, right? Okay, I will always say I encourage you to change percentage to fractions in its simplest form. So in this case will be 3 out of 10 so that you can see part of a fraction. So 2 ways to do this. It's either you take spending in terms of percentage is 30%. So what's left? 70%. Or you can take fraction. The spending is 3 over 10. What's left? 7 over 10. Okay. So there are 2 ways to do this. So what the next thing you can do is, since it is 30% and 70%, and what's left is 1,400. So you can take 70% since 7 and 14 are multiples of each other, right? So what you can do is simplify this, knock off the divide throughout by 10 to give you 7% first. And to find 1% will be 140 divided by 7 to give you 20. So this way, it is easier for you to solve since you don't have the calculator. So how much did the mobile phone cost? Mobile phone is 30%. So that's how you do it. 30 times 20 to give you 600. Or if you were to use fraction, this is 7 over 10 will be 1,400 and 1 over 10. 1,400 divided by 7 to give me 200. So 3 out of 10 will be 200 is 600. Okay, so that's how quick math, very, very quickly we can solve this question without the calculator. All right, now one of you got the question for number 3 wrong. Okay, for number 3, now angles. Let's do a quick recap of angles. You have this angle. Can anyone tell me what kind of angle this is? I can say the angle A, the 2 angles are equal to each other. Can I get a property? Yes, Brian?
Opposite angles.
Vertically
Opposite angles.
opposite angles. Okay. Now, this may not be in the syllabus, but I'm just gonna, because it is useful for us to know when you have 2 parallel lines and you have an angle included within the parallel lines. Anyone know what kind of angle? Yes, Hannah, thank you. It is alternate angles. Okay, so if we have this angle, what is this called? Anyone? What kind of angle is this? Not quite, Hannah. What kind of angle is this? It starts with letter C. Anyone? Ooh, have you heard of this angle? Let me check my chat. Anyone says anything? Yes, Pranati. Thank you. Pranati. So this is actually your corresponding angle. Can you all remember? They are corresponding angles. They are within 2 parallel lines. It's on the opposite sides. Not on the opposite sides, but it is below each of the line. Okay, and of course, the last angle that we have is, you can either use U or some people can use C. This is a parallel line. Okay, so this angle and this angle. What can I say about angle A and B? Yes, thank you, Tongi. So angle A plus angle B must be equal to 180 degrees. This is your interior angles. Now, just one quick one for this one. When I have A plus B, this angle. Can anyone tell me what angle is that? How can I find that angle very quickly without having 2 steps? Yes, thank you. So this is actually angle A plus angle B. So this is your exterior angles, okay? So let's just very quickly, what are the different types of angles that you have? And for this question, you want to find 2 angles that add up to 180 degrees. So now, label the angles that is already marked. Okay, so we have A, this is opposite angle, so this is A. If this is D, that means this is also D, C, and this is C. Okay, so now let's look at the options that we have. A plus B, does it equal to 180? A plus B. Is it 180? Anyone? Can you see that this is alternate angles? This is your letter Z. That's your alternate angles. So that means this is not. Okay. So then you have A plus C. A plus C, no, it's not also. B plus D, which is here. Is it 180? Yes, because the angles are on a straight line. Okay, so that's how you eliminate your options. Okay, question 4. If any of you recall, you got the question wrong. Yes, I got one person got the question wrong. Okay, now, so very quickly, this is actually your P4 8-point compass. Okay, now, for this type of question, you can still find this type of question in the PSLE. So you must know your 8-point compass, okay? So Jane was facing the post office at first. So Jane was facing the post office at first. She then turned 90 degrees clockwise. 90 degrees is your one right angle, right? Okay, so from here, 90 degrees clockwise. Okay, now, if you cannot remember what is clockwise and what is anti-clockwise, so clockwise, you look at your clock. How does it go? It goes on the right and then it goes to the left. From the right goes to the left, right? Now, so that's how you remember it clockwise. So 90 degrees clockwise would be turns this way. Then what happens? Then she made another 225 turn anti-clockwise. That means this is the reverse. So she reversed from where she is. She reversed 225. 225, you must find out how many turns is that. So 325 is made up of 90 degrees, 1 turn, 1 right angle turn, plus, or you can also take it as 180 degrees turn and a 45 degrees turn. So if you take 180 degrees turn this way and another 45 degree turn, so where is she facing? She is facing the library. Okay, all good, everyone? Can? Right, so let's look at question number 5. Anybody got me? Yes, Nabil. Must be careful, okay? All right. Okay, so for question number 5, what we have here is Ali spent half of his monthly allowance. Okay, so he spent half of his monthly allowance and donated 2 out of 5 of the remainder. So that means out of 1 whole that he has. Okay, so if this is his allowance, okay, this is allowance, he spent half of it, and he donated 2 out of 5 of the remainder. So out of the remainder, I cut it into 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I cut it into 5. 2 of it was donated to charity. So this one donated. So what's left? And save the rest. So the rest of this is saved. Now, remember, this is half. That means this must be the other half. And if I cut it into 5, that means the half, I must also cut it into 5 units, right? So find the